Hey dudes, it's Lerald, and today I'm going to be talking about the big news that's been happening with WoW this week. Between Season 3 launching, Blizzard giving us details on patch 11.2.5 and Legion Remix, as well as the teaser trailer for the Midnight Reveal on August 19th, there has been a lot to talk about, so let's do it. That's the intro. Join our Discord in the description and say hi to me in Sunset. Alright, let's start with Season 3. So there's a new raid, Manforge Omega, I'm going to call it that forever. It's very purple. Right. There's a new Mythic Plus season, there's some old favorites, there's some old not-so-favorites. Going back to Dawnbreaker has actually been surprisingly fun. Salia's Gambit is a much better dungeon than I remembered. The change to fish sticks in the first section of Trash really fixed that place in a way it badly needed, but the last boss is still very overcooked. This season's going to be a lot of fun. We're definitely going to have a lot more to say about the dungeons as we've spent more time kind of running through them a whole bunch. Delves have gotten an update. There are new stories for some of the delves. They're still kind of slow. All the monsters have enormous amounts of health. It all feels like fighting a pack of training dummies. The new skip portals that you get from the Rishi Rhapsody are awesome. We're both big fans of anything that lets you skip to the end of a piece of content, especially when the rest of it is as slow as plus 11 delves are right now. We've both had enough of Bran. His damage is pathetic. He doubles the monster health and provides really nothing of value except, I don't know, a guy calling out mechanics that you already are aware of. Blizzard needs to either buff this freeloading parasite already or let us kick him from our groups. Enough is enough. This is the last straw, etc. The changes to Delver's bounties not dropping until you've done dozens of bountiful delves is also a humongous mistake. Delves are not a great source of high-level gear in the first place. They didn't need to be preemptively nerfed for the first month of the season. This is just an awful decision all around. So that's Season 3. It's pretty normal. For the most part, it's pretty good. We're both enjoying ourselves. Mythic Plus in particular is really fun right now. And with that being said, let's talk about the future. So yesterday, Blizzard dropped a WoWcast episode about Legion Remix and a whole long post about it as well, and there's some pretty great news in here. They've taken a lot of player feedback, including some of our own, from WoP Remix, and they're incorporating it into the upcoming event in a way that's going to be, I think, a lot more fun than WoP Remix was, and that was already quite fun, so this is all great. So far, everything we've seen is lining up perfectly with the expansion timeline prediction that I made in our recent videos, where I feel like Legion Remix is going to last about 3 or 4 months. It's probably still several months out as well. So feeling pretty good about my April prediction for the next expansion. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So what is Legion Remix? It is a Legion-only game mode. It runs on an accelerated timeline. You get thrown into Legion. You choose one of the classes that was in the game at Legion, so no Drakthir Evokers. Maybe no Drakthir race at all, but certainly no Evoker class. And then the content is going to be staggered out over time like in WoW Classic. This is a change from WoP Remix and something that we're very happy about. There will be new content drops every couple of weeks. And then there will be kind of like a long period at the end of the remix where it's like a month and a half or something where it'll just all be out and you'll be able to just play through the whole, well, everything in the game all at once. Now, as they've said in both the video and the post here, there are going to be kind of like accumulating daily objectives, things where you can choose to do kind of anything, right? You can gather, you can do dragon riding races, which are fun, or I guess it's sky riding, but whatever. You can do like sky riding stuff, you can do dungeons, whatever, and you can kind of let these accumulate over the course of several days, and you get big rewards, gear upgrades from everything that you do, basically. This is what is so different about Legion Remix, and it kind of underscores something that I'm not totally in love with in the real WoW game, which is that gear upgrading in real WoW, retail WoW, is actually kind of slow and arduous, and in Remix, it's the exact opposite. Literally everything you do, whether it's like killing random monsters in the world or running mythic dungeons, can be rewarding. And also on that note, Mythic Plus Keystone Dungeons will be a part of Legion Remix. Legion was when Mythic Plus was first introduced to the game, kind of breathed a lot of new life into the game at that point, and really has kind of taken over as the predominant game mode of World of Warcraft since then, and there are going to be some new affixes as well that are being added into Legion Remix's Keystone, so that should be pretty fun, especially with the insane power scaling that players are capable of achieving in Remix. If that is sticking around from MoP Remix, and it seems like it is, it seems like the whole point of the game mode, Legion Remix is going to be pretty awesome, being able to blast like plus 35s or whatever. So they are bringing back the legendary weapons, the artifact weapons. However, they're not going to have the old artifact weapon trees because a lot of those don't even make sense with the current state of talents. And this is the current talent setup, current builds are going to be what you're playing in Legion Remix. So they've incorporated all of the artifacts into a single tree. They didn't show us a lot of preview stuff here. We got to see one skill, but I wanted to highlight this one. There seem to be 5 branches that you can choose after you've kind of done the initial setup here. And it seems to be Nature and Holy are top and bottom. And then I think it's Frostfire and Arcane in the middle. I think that's right. Maybe Shadows in there somewhere. I don't know. This is what it looked like anyway. So sort of 5 different trees corresponding to 5 different magic types, something like that. So the one skill that we were able to see was this one, Dream Weaving. It's a passive. It seems to be tied to the tree, the skill at the start of the tree here. So I'm guessing that you get some sort of active skill and then a bunch of bonuses that modify it. And this makes it so that you give yourself and your nearby allies 100% cooldown reduction for 10 seconds. So over the next 10 seconds, you get 20 seconds worth of cooldown reduction. If there are those kind of bonuses applying to yourself and to nearby allies, and then you're also still playing a normal World of Warcraft class. If you have that kind of overlapping power where this guy's buffing everybody's cooldown reduction, this guy's buffing everybody's damage or damage reduction or something, that could be really quite fun in a lot of content, but especially in those time warped keystone dungeons. I think that could be pretty sick. They are also adding a heroic world tier. This is a system that they're copying over from Diablo 4. It sounds fine, D4 bad, but increasing difficulty and reward is a design that has been proven about 1 billion times over in video games. I think it's going to be pretty fun here as well. I love the idea of having I've literally always made this joke since Legion, Mythic World Quests, and it seems like we're actually going to get Mythic World Quests. So very excited about that. Very, very fun idea, right? Really speaks to me in particular. Ultimately, my takeaway here is that Legion was a great expansion, one of the all-time greats. There's a ton of cool transmog and mounts that were never released, or recolors of transmogs that were never released, like this Fell Scythe here that are just so awesome. Definitely excited to go in there and get those. It's going to be really fun. One thing I almost kind of skipped over here is that bronze, the currency that was used in MoP Remix to both upgrade your gear and to buy cosmetics, is only going to be for cosmetics. So this is the biggest gripe that people had. This feeling that you needed to just spam farm frogs to get as much bronze as possible, get as many upgrades as possible. That's kind of being killed. You just need to farm bronze from just doing everything as a way to get cosmetics. So as soon as you've got all the stuff that you want to look at, you don't need bronze anymore, and you don't have to choose between getting gear upgrades to farm faster to get more bronze, or spending the bronze on stuff you want to look at. That, there's all of that bad decision is just completely removed. So the patch 11.2.5 PTR is up. It went up during the time that I was writing up the outline for this video. I have downloaded it, but I haven't been able to log in yet. I don't know if the servers are actually up, but they will be doing some Legion Remix testing, which seems like it's going to be fun. Might look into that a little bit further, just see if there's anything else of real interest to block in on. Maybe some of those artifact weapon trees might be pretty cool to take a deeper dive on. And then they are also bringing back Turbo Boost for Season 3, so there's no need to sugarcoat it. This is kind of bad. Turbo Boost is a way to reheat leftovers once a large section of the player base has kind of stopped logging in for the season. It really demonstrates how slow the gearing process is in the rest of... It really demonstrates how slow the gearing process is in the current state of the game. And it really seems like it's going to be sticking around going into future expansions, and that is unfortunate. It's just adding more chores, right around the time that you finish gearing up your characters and you feel like you're kind of done with them and you can focus on alts or playing other games for a while until the next season launches. Now, if you're kind of obsessed with having your character maxed out, like we both are, you have to log in for several more weeks of farming Mythic Plus. It just feels like a way to boost daily active user engagement. That's a cynical view, I suppose. Maybe it's good that there is more stuff to do on your main to get rewards, but if you could just transfer crests that you earn on your main to your alts, then there would still be a reason to play your main, and you could experience more variety. So 2 thumbs down on this from us. They are bringing back the puzzling cartel chips, which were a real mixed bag in the last season when they made it so that you had to clear Mythic Raid in order to buy Mythic Raid items. It's the end of the expansion, so maybe that won't be the case, but they haven't even referenced that here, so very possible that's just going to be something that they do again. And yeah, the response wasn't like all that positive when it happened last season, so I don't think it'll be that positive if they do the same thing next time either. Earlier today, Blizzard dropped a new teaser trailer for Midnight, and it is great. It's very spooky. We've got Stormwind and Dornegal being covered in shadow. We've got some scary strobe cuts here and some inserts with the purple lady any second now. Yeah, it's all really good. Now you'll notice that there are no horde cities being depicted in this teaser trailer. You notice it and then you just move past it. The Void is coming, yeah, but also, as we can see right here at the end of this, we cut to housing. Player housing is also coming, and that's great, right? This is something that people have been requesting for decades, and it's finally happening. Blizzard's really like pulling all the stops out to make this a big marketing push for the coming expansion. It's looking like it's going to be a pre-order bonus for the next expansion, and I mean, that's great. Like, everybody's very happy about this. The idea of being able to have a fully customizable home that your character can like live in is very cool. So there is a big reveal coming next week at Gamescom, and that's going to be Tuesday of next week, 2 p.m. Beast Coast time, and it's going to be very exciting, I'm sure. We're getting developer panels throughout the event as well, so there's going to be a lot to learn about the expansion, and speaking personally, I'm most excited to find out when it's going to launch. I will jump back to my old spreadsheet here. My previous prediction was April 21st. I'm maybe not 100% confident about that right now with Legion Remix being hyped up so much, but yeah, sure, I am. We'll see, but lock it in. 421, new expansion, I feel good about that. And I also think that just looking at the Midnight logo, it's super cool. It might be my favorite logo other than Legion, maybe. All right, yeah, I went and found a Reddit post of all of the old WoW logos, and I guess that's the action item for the rest of this video. What is your favorite WoW logo? I think Legion is probably my favorite. I still think Mists of Pandaria is my favorite actual expansion, but Legion's definitely my favorite of all the logos that WoW's done over the years. Although Wrath was pretty good. They were cooking back in 2006 or whenever they made that. That's pretty nice. But Midnight logo's very nice as well. All right, so as I was editing, I saw a post from Mr. GM that said that according to the PTR, Legion Remix is going to run from October 7th through Monday, January 19th, 2026. So I was able to log onto the PTR, and I don't see that in the calendar. I don't see that anywhere. Not that I doubt them. I imagine it just was something that they didn't realize was shown to players and then have removed before I logged in, but all I'm seeing is just the current testing, which is just ongoing from like today until whatever 2 weeks from now. But with that being said, if that is true, I think like looking back at the timeline and thinking about it, maybe we don't get a 2.6 or 2.9 or whatever patch, and maybe the expansion just comes out like late January. That would definitely accelerate things from what I expected, but it seems like a real possibility. They're definitely like surging forward with all the marketing materials for the next patch, and next PTR is obviously up and testable. You can get on and play a time runner right now, so yeah, it could be. Oh, also, they did fix the issue with Delver's Bounties, so those are going to be, I think, available to people who've done pretty much any amount of Delves now already this season, so kind of fixes the biggest issue that either of us had with Delves as well. Good stuff, probably shouldn't have gone in the first place, but they fixed it in the first week, so, how much can you really be upset about that? All right, that pretty much covers it. There's a lot going on in Azeroth. Definitely a lot to be excited for with Legion Remix and then Midnight reveal coming very soon. The alpha and beta are going to start up fairly soon. That's going to be pretty fun to get in there and explore all the new stuff. Everything's going to be super purple. Great color. Can't wait to get in there. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and join the Skipping Sleep Studio Discord as well. We have over 800 people in our community, so jump in and say hello to me and Sunset if you haven't already. And finally, thank you to all of our channel members. If you want to support us so we can keep making more WoW content, become a channel member as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.